YouTube, Shuriken here with a review of the Power Rangers Ninja Steel DX Ninja Battle Morpher. So fans of Ninninger will recognize this as the Karakuri Hengen from the series. This was not the Morpher from Ninninger, but instead just a sidearm weapon. The sword was the Morpher, but we decided to change that up because Bandai did not want the Morpher and the sword to be the same toy because those are its two biggest ticket items for the roleplay lines, and they didn't want to kind of hinder themselves in terms of sales, so they made this the actual Morpher, which is kind of cool. I dig it a lot because this actually didn't get a whole lot of love in Ninja. It kind of got phased out eventually, and it was a pretty cool concept for a weapon, so I'm glad we'll hopefully see more of it in Ninja Steel. But this includes the yellow and red Ninja Power Stars. They are not the cool-looking ones, or cool-looking ones that are in the actual packs, but they're just the flat foam. But they're collector's items and stuff like that. So yeah, so we got red back here, the typical like grabbing the Morpher that we have had with these little Morphers since Super Mega Force, or no, Mega Force actually is when it started. On the back here, it shows all its modes. It's got a Morpher mode, a Claw mode, and a Blade mode. Karakuri Hengen had a Bow mode. You can make it with this, but there's no sounds for the Bow mode. So I don't know if they're going to phase it out in Ninja Steel or if it's just something that they aren't doing with the toy, but we'll do in the show. We shall have to see. But this was $29.99 at my local Toys R Us. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get this open and take a look. Alright, and here it is. Before we take a look at the Morpher itself, I want to take a quick look at the Ninja Stars. These are certainly something. As we can see real quickly from the yellow, they're different than the ones that you get in the Ninja Star packs. The ones in the Ninja Power Star pack, there we go, Ninja Power Star pack, NPSP. They actually have molded details in the foam to look like the actual stars from the show. Whereas the ones that came with the Morpher and the sword are this flat, like, craft foam looking design. And I'm not sure what's going on exactly, if they just wanted to make them different. I've been told that these ones were released on accident and are not the final product. So I honestly have no idea, but the ones that come in the Ninja Power Star packs are the show accurate ones, and they also have a hollow foil sticker on them compared to the ones that come with the toys. So yeah, the ones that come with the toys here are gonna look crappy, at least in this initial wave of the Morpher and the sword. Other things, I have no idea. These could be corrected later on down the line. You could buy one a year from now and it could be nice and fixed, so I have no idea. But yeah, so the Ninja Stars are all, I'm pretty much going to call them Ninja Stars. I know they're Ninja Power Stars, but that's just too many words. They're just a kind of durable foam. It's not a super crappy kind of foam. I don't think it's necessarily going to break, but I do worry about bending and stuff over time and having some stars that end up looking like this because of how they're stored. Thankfully, it is pretty pliable, and you can kind of get it back into shape, no problem. So that is something to keep in mind. Here is an example of the back. Basically, what happens is you insert these, and these three little rails right there will go over these buttons right here, and will in turn deduce what star you put in to make the appropriate sound. So it works very much like Shift Cars and Resha from Tokyuger, for fans of the Japanese series that know what I'm talking about. It works very similar to that, but in just a rotation manner. So these are the Power Stars. They have no electronics, no lights or anything like that. They are simply two plastic discs sandwiched between foam. So it's like a foam Oreo or something like that. And they're made simply to throw. They have foam on the edges as the blades, so you can go wah and throw them at your friends, pets, siblings, parents, etc. Or homemade targets to just throw, I guess, because that's hours of fun right there. But other than being thrown or launched from various toys, they do have functionality in the Morpher, like I said. The rails will go over these little buttons right here, and they will make noise. But before we do that, this toy actually has some functionality with no power stars in it whatsoever. Hey, I said power stars this time. There is a Try Me mode that is on in the box so that you can simply press one of these buttons in the package and it'll go over some various sounds, but we're not going to bother with that because we got it out of the package. So from here, it helps if we're actually looking at the power strip. Turn it on, just like that. And real quick, this handle is out of the package when you get it to save space, I guess, to make the package a little bit thinner. This is off. This little black piece right here is a separate little plug. You take the handle, you push it in, it'll clip in place, and then you put this little black peg in there to help secure it. If you lose the black peg, I wouldn't worry about it too bad. I think it's pretty secure even without the peg, so don't worry too much about it, but just know that this piece is separate in the box and is tucked away, so you kind of have to dig for it. But anyway, as far as holding the toy, I believe they're gonna probably go like that in the show to morph, because the trigger is right up here to press with your thumb. So you're looking at basically this design for the morpher, and they're gonna probably thrust it forward and go ha or something like that. But the toy itself does have some attack modes, because in the original Japanese show, Ninninger, this was a weapon. This was not their transformation device. The sword is. But in the show, this was an actual weapon that had 3 modes. It had a sword mode, a claw mode, and a bow mode. Now, the package kind of keeps the 3 modes, but they do a morph mode, claw mode, and sword mode. They eliminate the bow mode. The original Japanese toy had a cut right here, and you could pull this back. This one does not. However, you can still do the bow mode by manually flipping out this right here and kind of tilt it a little bit, and then manually flipping out this one right here just like that, and kind of hold it like this, and there is your bow mode. So it's still there. There is no sounds to correspond with the bow mode whatsoever, but you can still actually make it with the toy. So I don't really consider that too much of a negative. Sounds being present isn't a huge deal to me for the actual like role play of the toy. So just kind of keep that in mind. You don't have a pullback or anything like that, but you can still pretend it has the bow mode, because I'm sure they'll use it in the show. The other mode is a claw mode that is simply like this. Yellow is the claw mode. Blue was the bow mode. So it's whatever faces forward in this regard. So yellow is the claw mode, and it looks just like this. So you can hold it in either hand and just kind of jab forward or slash forward or whatever you may do to imitate the claw mode. Then finally, if we push those back in, there is actually a button here on the red side, right here, and you push it, and this will swing out to make the sword mode. Now, unfortunately, you're kind of stuck in this weird position for the sword. I mean, it kind of works, but I feel if this was able to turn and you could hold it like this, it would make a lot more sense, sort of like the movie Power Sword toy. But hey, it is what it is. You can actually get the sword mode, and it is pretty cool that it uses both of these blades to kind of make this a little bit chunkier of a blade. So that's always really nice. It looks a little bit better. So you can fold that up right here, and we are back to the morph mode. So now that we are on, we can go ahead and press the button to hear some sound effects. So you got kind of sounds for the claw, you got kind of sounds for like a blunt hit, you got sounds for the sword, but you don't really have any sounds for the bow. Like I said, you're going to have to use your imagination for that one. But that is all for the functions of the toy without any power stars. But if we take our power stars and insert them, we have a little insertion noise, and then here's where things get a little bit tricky. In the series, at least in Ninja, they flick this and it would spin around multiple times and initiate the transformation with their sword or the attack functions with their weapons. Unfortunately, like, you can't really get there. All it does is kind of go like that. You can't actually get a nice little flick twist with these. To actually activate it, you kind of have to put your finger somewhere on the toy and keep spinning it manually. It'll say Red Ninja Power Star and nothing else. You do have to hit the button on the back here. And then it'll activate the transformation sound, and if you hit the button one more time, you'll get like a final attack noise. And that is it. If you hit it again, it just does that attack noise again. And if you spin it more, you'll get the activation again. And you can get the transformation again. So nothing too thrilling. That is really it. Like, that's it. There's no hidden phrases or anything else. That is it. And if you pop it out, which is kind of difficult to do, that's where I worry about these bending. I don't necessarily think they're going to break, but you have to put a fair amount of force to get these out. And I'm really worried about the integrity of these over time as you keep trying to insert and pull them out. I'm really worried about these bending way too much. But if you put in yellow, same exact transformation noise. And same exact sound. So that is really about it for this. Now, naturally, there are Ninja Power Star packs, like I said, to get the nicer looking ones that have more functions with these. We will have Zord or Megazord Ninja Stars that activate their summoning noises. They will have Technique Stars or Element Stars that activate different like water, fire, ground-based attacks. That will activate new noises and possibly more down the horizon as well. There's also Legendary Red Ninja Power Stars and Legendary Team Ninja Power Stars that come in those packs that will unfortunately only activate 2 different noises, but that is a nitpick that we'll get to in those actual Power Star packs. So despite the limited functionality right out of the box with only the red and yellow stars, just like a lot of these gimmick-based toys, there'll be more playability later on down the line. Now, as a toy itself, it's not that bad. It has near the same functions as the original Japanese toy, and as a morpher, it technically has more. Despite the elimination of the sounds for the bow mode, it's still something that you could do, thanks to still being able to do the claw mode, and essentially being almost the same thing. It's still something you can do, so as long as that bow mode is still included in the show, despite no noises, you can actually replicate it with the toy, so kids aren't missing out on anything like that. So overall, I like the fact that they made this Morpher. I think it's original, I think it's neat, and it works. I like kind of having a multi-weapon toy fused with the Morpher instead of just the sword. So it's a move that I overall really enjoy. I just really wish the Power Stars were a little bit more fun, and the noises were a little bit more interactive. Maybe different transformation noises or different phrases. Like the Dino Charge one always had Power Ranger Tyrannosaurus or something like that. This one maybe saying like Ninja Steel Red or something like that. It's just a little bit lackluster and falls a little bit flat. So despite still being a fun toy, I think it's the weakest of the Morphers that we've been getting since Megaforce. I still think Megaforce is probably the best in my humble opinion, but it's still a fun toy at the end of the day. It's just not as good of a product as Bandai America has been putting out with these Morphers in the past. But if your kid really likes Ninja Steel, or you're a collector of the Ninja Steel toy line, you'll still get a kick out of it, but it's just not the best example of a fun toy from Bandai America. So that about does it for this review. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a cool video like this one. And as always, thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.